The Malevolent Doll. The old empty house on Willow Street had always intrigued me. Its crumbling facade and overgrown yard seemed to hide a forgotten past. Stories whispered of a tragic family who once lived there, leaving behind only sorrow and despair. Some said the house was cursed, and others spoke of a possessed doll said to be hidden within its walls. I dismissed these tales as mere folklore until one fateful day when I dared to enter the decrepit abode. Curiosity got the best of me, and with an uneasy heart I stepped through the creaking front door. The air inside was heavy, as if it held onto the weight of the house's past. Dust particles danced in the dim light, casting eerie shadows on the faded wallpaper. As I explored the desolate rooms, I stumbled upon a small locked door hidden in the corner of the attic. I sensed something sinister lurking behind it, but my curiosity urged me forward. With trembling hands, I managed to pry the door open, revealing a room filled with dusty toys, books, and a single weathered doll sitting on a dusty shelf. The doll's glassy eyes stared back at me with an unsettling intensity. It wore a tattered dress, and its porcelain face was cracked, giving it a haunting appearance. Something about the doll sent shivers down my spine, but I couldn't tear my gaze away. Against my better judgment, I decided to take the doll home, thinking it could serve as an unusual conversation piece. Little did I know that I had invited a malevolent presence into my life. Strange occurrences began almost immediately. At first, it was minor things, like objects inexplicably moving or doors creaking open in the dead of night. I tried to convince myself that it was all a coincidence, that my mind was playing tricks on me. But as days turned into nights, the occurrences escalated. I would hear faint whispers echoing through the house, followed by the sound of tiny footsteps pattering across the floor. The doll seemed to move on its own, sometimes ending up in a completely different location than where I left it. The ominous atmosphere within my home grew suffocating, and I felt as if I were being watched constantly. Sleep eluded me, haunted by terrifying nightmares that felt all too real. One night, I woke up to the sound of a child's laughter echoing through the house. My heart pounded in my chest as I followed the eerie giggles to the source. To my horror, I found the doll sitting at the foot of my bed, its lifeless eyes gleaming in the darkness. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice trembling, but there was no response, only silence. I convinced myself that I was just sleep-deprived and anxious, that my imagination was getting the best of me. But deep down, I knew there was something unnatural about the doll. Days turned into a relentless cycle of fear and dread. The doll's malevolent presence seemed to grow stronger with every passing moment, as if it were feeding on my fear and torment. One evening, as I sat in the living room, I heard a faint scratching sound coming from upstairs. With trepidation, I climbed the stairs, my heart pounding in my ears. The sound led me to the attic, the very place where I had found the doll. As I reached the attic, the scratching grew louder, mingled with frantic whispers that sent chills down my spine. I pushed open the door, and there in the dim light I saw the doll standing at the center of the room, its head turned unnaturally towards me. Suddenly the whispers grew into a cacophony of malevolent voices, and the doll's lifeless eyes glowed a sinister shade of red. I felt a searing pain in my head, as if my very soul were being tormented. Terrified, I stumbled backward and fell, hitting my head on the hard floor. My vision blurred as the doll loomed over me, its malevolence suffocating. In that moment, I knew I had to break free from the doll's grip. Summoning every ounce of strength, I crawled toward the shelf where the doll had been found. With trembling hands, I grabbed the doll and hurled it against the wall, shattering its porcelain body. The moment the doll broke, the malevolent presence seemed to dissipate, and the whispers ceased. The house fell silent, as if the curse had finally been lifted. As I lay there, battered and exhausted, I knew that my life would never be the same again. The haunted doll had almost claimed me, but I had managed to break free from its malevolent grasp. From that day on, I vowed never to let my curiosity lead me astray again. Some secrets are better left buried in the shadows, and some malevolent forces should never be awakened. The old empty house on Willow Street will forever be a reminder of the darkness that can lurk within even the most innocent of objects. And the possessed doll, once a vessel of evil, now lies shattered, forever still. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel for more stories. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me create more great content for you. Until next time.